track record they both have already. Two best left-handed players in the world.
Certainly at the moment, you'd have to say. Wu Chao-Chin, of course, is a left-hander as well.
He's not currently that active, isn't it? Wish we would see him again. Attempted, haven't been made. Now here, the combination possible. Blue onto green, 2 onto 6 that is. But his 2 ball is going to roll towards the short rail, as he's pointing out to you quite clearly, thanks Joshua. And then needs to control his cue ball, which will roll into the purple 5. So how do you get position on the 2? The combination I believe he will make. Position, I'm not so sure. He will always keep a shot on the 2. He's not going to get snookered on it, I believe. Although, might hit the top side of the purple. Or it might even avoid that and career the cue ball into the red 3. Wow. That was so good.
Well, we talk about Shaw often being slow to start in matches, but I don't think we can level that accusation here because he's not had a chance yet really to do much about it. Well, I mean, this is just classic filler, this shot.
I think you're about to curse him.
Never in doubt, Rico. Never in doubt.
Nice. I'm so glad you made that. Cue ball almost drifted on top of the 9 ball, which would have forced him to play with elevation. Now, though, yeah, he's going to play this with bottom left spin, draw it into the top left corner and around the 8 ball, back out alongside the 6. Oh, that amount of spin. Just wasn't able to get to the right spot on the 3 ball. A hand of apology. Jason wanting to hand his cue to one of our audience members. Just you play the shot, mate. Wow, what do you do here? I mean, you can brush the right side of the ball and try to get the 3 ball top side of the table, cue ball back down towards us. Didn't get the snooker. 8 ball covering top left corner pocket. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Not, if a cue ball, object ball are kind of aligned towards the pocket, more often than not, the safety is hard to come by. Because naturally a ball, if you'd be straight in, you kind of want to pot the ball. Now he has to play safe, or I think he does anyway.
Extension.
Time running out, extension called. So what would you do here, audience at home? Think along with me. You can send the 3 ball just to the left rail to the 7 ball. I think that's a bit too containing for his liking. That is what he did. Also tried to use the 6 ball as a covering ball. That didn't work out. Now Jason has to take this chance. I mean, you really can't afford to go 4-0 down against Joshua in a race to 11 in a semi-final of a major where Joshua gets better and better.
Yeah, filler's hard enough to beat, even when you're the one who builds a big lead. Imagine how hard it is trying to beat him from well behind.
Yeah, jump shot incoming. You can see if we can improve on that percentage of jump shots attempted and balls potted. Improve on that percentage of jump shots attempted and balls potted.
Talking about a few balls have been potted with the jump cue this week.
Yeah, beautiful contact on the 3 ball. That cue ball rolled a little bit too close to this rail and now it needs to really dig down the cue ball. Bottom right spin, try to draw it into the bottom left corner. Might make contact with the 9. That doesn't have to be disastrous. That's a good shot.
Has Shaw potted a ball yet?
9 ball combo. Or carom off the 4, off the rail into the 9. Ooh. Got close, no cigar. So this tester for Jason, not just the pot. But does the 5 ball pass the 9, or else he might have to elevate his cue to play the 5 top right. Yeah, not easy. Because even if he rolls this one in, yeah, I think should be able to get position onto the 5 past the 9. But this one first.
Well, these guys both love getting out there on the main table in front of a crowd, in front of the cameras, and showing what they can do. Only one of them has really been able to do it so far in this match. Finally, Shaw has a chance to get involved.
Yeah, and I kind of hope as well, even though he has had little to shout about, but I hope he gives the crowd something to shout about, because of course he is the sole British playing survivor and the first man ever to make it to the semi-final, right, Michael?
First British player to do so, yeah. He and Fraser Patrick last year were actually the first British players to even get beyond the last 16 of a UK Open. So this one looks to be a done deal now. And with a very easy 8-9 combination, Jason Shaw finishes the job. Joshua Filler's lead trimmed ever so slightly to 4-1.
Ended up with too much angle on the 3 ball, with even more angle on the 4 ball, and now can still cut this 5 ball in the right side pocket, although it's thinner than you might think, and these side pockets really small, and then has to weave his cue ball 3 rails across the top half of the table and weave it either for a space in between brown and 9 ball, or go further than that and pass the 9 ball. Go cue ball. This is looking good. I don't know.
Neither does he.
Now it will be jumpable, or can slightly curve his cue ball, so only has the edge of the 9 ball to either jump over or curve around. Little jump cue coming out, so can make the 6, stop his cue ball. So basically wants to jump the cue ball, but adapt a little bit of backspin onto the cue ball, so when the cue ball makes contact with the 6, it has no forward motion whatsoever. Jason.
Oh, hang on. No, it's not going to get there.
So, and that so often happens with professional players as well as amateur players. You get 10% too much angle on shot 1. You end up with 30% too much angle on shot 2. And then by shot 4, you have to play a jump shot. And it's exactly what happened to Jason. Just too much talent required with every shot. And Joshua is the master of keeping things simple, because he is a master of cue ball motion and keeping that under control.
We talk so much about the tiny margins in this game. If that cue ball a couple of shots ago from Shaw makes even half a revolution more than it did, it's all fairly straightforward for him to get back to only 2 behind. And now he's facing a 4-rack deficit again. Normal service resuming then for Joshua Filler. He leads this semi-final 5-1. He had a landslide in the first semi-final. Filler threatening the same here. And he's done fairly well over the years. And then again, as you say, different players have different personalities. And Shane's such an introvert anyway. It's kind of hard to imagine Jason just sitting quietly on his own for 10 minutes. But it might be worth giving it a go once or twice.
That'll work. For the time being, that is. Because he's snookered by about 3 balls on the red 3. Watched the 2 ball go off the rail. Luckily didn't kick the cue ball back in. Didn't even touch the cue ball. Okay, can still see the 3 ball. Great shot by Jason. Close proximity snooker, so no jump shot going to be played here. And the 3 ball being in the open area of the table makes it a little bit harder to hit than if it's close to a rail or a corner.
Hallo, Milano Gamer jetzt. Da war jemand, der hieß Naturgamer. Jetzt kommt Milano Gamer. Quark. Quark mit Studentenfutter. Hier wird geduzt, nicht gesiezt.
And hard to get away with it as well. Now Joshua not even coming up one rail, but actually going to hit the left rail just below the side. Then go around the right corner, as we can see him clearly indicated. Because he has a better chance of getting away with it after impact. We'll probably hit the right side of the 3-ball.
Was hört sich gut an, was ich esse oder was ich gerade gucke? Ist halt gesund, wenn du das Essen meinst. Ja. Was machst du gerade, außer dass du dich mit mir unterhältst? Warum bist du hier überhaupt rein? Ich liege im Bett, du faule Sau. Das wurde mir angezeigt. Naja, aber du musst ja nicht unbedingt rein, nur weil es dir angezeigt wird. Du weißt schon, dass es ein politischer Stream ist, zumindest wegen des Logos und wegen des Namens. Ja, ja, bla bla. Warte mal geschwind bitte. Ich sehe nett aus. Nett ist der kleine Bruder vom großen Arschloch. Kennst du das? Ich will nicht nett sein. Darf ich dich fragen, wie jung du bist? Also, wie jung bist du? Interessierst du dich überhaupt für Politik? Warum wusste ich, dass du ein junger Mensch bist? Wie viel bisschen ist ein bisschen? Was meinst du mit weiß ich nicht? Ach so, warum ich wusste, dass du so jung bist? Wegen des Namens und wie du antwortest, wie du schreibst. Ich hätte dich so 17, 18 geschätzt. Was genau interessiert dich denn in der Politik? Möchtest du mit mir darüber sprechen? Es ist immerhin ein politischer Kanal, zumindest ist das meine Absicht. Ich laufe nicht weg, ich verspreche dir.
Or nothing at all, just air. Time for Jason to up the level. Yeah, remember was given a good shot off the 2-ball in the previous rack. That turned out to take a little bit longer, or actually lost that rack and won the last one. So 1-ball left side pocket. Ooh, hit the 1-ball a little too full. That's why it travels a little bit further and hit the top jaw of the left side pocket.
First break from either player in this match. It didn't result in the one going in the side pocket.
A few things to play for here in this rack. First of all, this 1-ball, which can be played onto the 4-ball, which is, well, not hanging, but is near the top right corner pocket. I think that's what we're going to see here. That is nicely played. And then we have the little matter of the 5-9, which I think probably won't be played in combination. He could leave himself an angle on the 2-ball, make the 2 and break open the 5-9. Could very well then have position on the 3-ball, and that would be all the challenges, the main challenges overcome in this rack. Let's see. Challenges overcome in this rack. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might be the shot to play, you know. Oh, he's looking at the 5-9. So really wants to leave his cue ball as straight, right where his cue is pointing. So basically center table to make aiming at the combination easier. Yeah, and then with Jason missing that 1-ball in the side, I guess you can't really call it an unforced error because it's still a skill shot. But Jason can't get closer, right? And as I said before, Joshua the Punisher. 5-9 combo for 6-2.
And Shorter can't make any inroads, can he?
He's in the way of the path of the bank shot to the bottom left corner pocket. Could hit the 3-ball. Of course, so he can't basically hit the 3-ball on the left side. That will make his cue ball scratch. So hitting it on the right side, try to guide 3-ball towards the 4, cue ball behind the 9 or 6 or the 7. Yeah.
I always think it's a sign of a player who's breaking really well if he can consistently make multiple balls on the break. Filler's starting to do that now.
Not sure if Jason can see anything of this 3-ball. If he can, then he can cut it and leave it just above the right side pocket, on the rail of course.
Extension cool.
I can see elevation here. Oh, that's not too far off, but far enough to let Joshua back to the table with not an automatic pot or position, but I think he should be able to make the 3 top left and stun his cue ball just below the pink 4. Oh, he's going to roll it into the left side with a natural path to the 4.
It's a very exacting sport. He takes small lapses and imperfections.
Yeah, just a roller coaster of emotions so often.
Extension cool.
I mean, sometimes you have a match where you breeze through, but of course then if you breeze through, that means your opponent is going through it. So often just have to, it's really about self-management. Trying to not get ahead of yourself. Don't let your ego take over too much, or at all, really. Stay within yourself, but still play the game the way it's presented to you.
It was a very one-sided semi-final earlier today in the end, taking Wojciech Szczepczyk through to the final of this UK Open. We definitely fancied this one would be a good deal closer. It may yet be, but it isn't looking like it at the moment. 3 in a row for Joshua Filler, and now he leads 8-2. I think we're heading towards 2 million now.
Rank 12.
Often marvelled at Efren Reyes, who was the first pool player to win $2 million in prize money. Filler could get there very soon himself. Shane Van Bonen surpassed that mark as well a couple of years ago. Still 100% with making the one in the side in this match, Filler. 2's down as well. Probably would have preferred that to stay on the table and hover over the pocket, because once he got in the 3, Rico,
yeah, so 3-4. 4-ball not makeable. Banking the 3 backup table, I think, in between pink and yellow. Yeah. I mean, like, and not just playing safe, right, but eliminating the jump shot. Appreciated by Jason for about 1 second.
that's 3 of the last 4 breaks from Filler now that he's made multiple balls. You can see it happen on its own from time to time, but to keep doing it consistently, that's the sign of someone who's breaking really well. And this is turning into an absolute nightmare for Shaw, isn't it? I remember him doing something similar to this to Sanjin Pelovanovic in front of the big crowd in Hanoi the year he won there. Now he's the one on the receiving end in a big semi-final.
Yeah, just plays so beautifully, right? None of his strokes, of course he's not under pressure at the moment, but he's played so well that he's created the distance and can relax a little bit more. But even under pressure, just delivers the cues so well. You never see him twitch, or you never see him make a ball, but ooh, was that deserved of going in? He just plays the game so well, right? The format that is offered, the break that is required, safeties that are required to create opportunities. And don't forget, I mean, he's an extremely talented guy, but this gentleman really trains his socks off when he's back at home. And I think that they're building a new home currently, or have just bought a new home, and that will for sure have a beautiful pool room in it.
There's some beautiful pool being played by Joshua Filler right now. We've seen this many times over the years, but we still marvel at it. The confidence, the exuberance, the fluency. And Joshua Filler is already at the hill. He leads Jason Shaw now by 10 racks to 2.
Oh, it never was, it hit the rail pretty soon. And it was basically never in. I mean, it still almost dropped. Now, these shots, as we look at the missed 5-ball, yeah, hit the rail a little bit too soon. Now, this 5-ball, not easy to make, but hard to get position on the cue ball on these slippery cloth and elevating. This needs a little friendly bump and won't get it. Now, he's going to try to cut it in the side. Pretty lackadaisical attitude. He's going for it pretty soon. And as you said, that air of resignation still featuring in his current